I'm Dennis Gaddy. I currently serve as Executive Director of Community Success Initiative. We are 10 years old this month. I didn't come to this work by coincidence. I didn't wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm not doing anything else. I guess I want to start a reentry program. No, it didn't start quite that way. I spent 5.5 years in the North Carolina Department of Corrections myself because of some poor choices I made in the late 90s, and had the good fortune to be able to have a support group on the outside called a wife and family and friends. And so I come to this work kind of by obligation, okay, and was able to survive and put things behind me, and now helping other people who may not be so fortunate.
About 80% of the people who are involved at CSI are formerly incarcerated men and women, so a few of us with no money and no staff and just volunteers with passion came together 10 years ago to begin this journey of helping people get connected to resources in the area of jobs, housing, education, and human services. We've come a long way. We started in 2004 with our reentry roundtable, or our signatory reentry roundtables that we had every month in Raleigh. And we would just bring community together over fellowship and food to talk about some of the issues at that time that weren't even on the forefront. They were just issues that were beginning to take shape in the communities with people coming home from prison.
I can sit up here, I can smile with you and shield my pain. Today I hurt. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of doing time. I've already done it. Let me live. So what I want to do is have something in life. You know what I mean? I used to have an ego and pride. I don't like asking for things. I want to work for what I want.
There are more people coming home from prison and jail over the next 10 years than any other time in our history. So we knew that. We had been following that. We had seen that. We began to see how that was taking shape. We began to just bring people together to cross-pollinate ideas and find out who was involved and who needed help. So what we did is that we continued to do that month after month, and then got the attention of our state legislatures who were interested in this conversation, and we're very reentry friendly.
Well, Dennis and CSI are pioneers in working on ex-offender reentry issues. And there's no other organization in the state that's taken such a comprehensive approach. Jobs, counseling, legislative advocacy, legal support. He has done it all. When I met him and got to know him the most was when he really pushed me to start a study committee, get a legislative study effort on all the legal and statutory and policy changes that we needed to look at in order to create a level playing field for people with criminal convictions.
I have really enjoyed working with Dennis. He came to us years ago when we had a study committee on reentry. And he'd already been moving around, but that really took him up to another level when he started to get state support for it. And he's been in my district, other districts, traveling the state of North Carolina, really with his message. He's been doing a great job, and I am glad to have been a part of all that they've been about this far. And I look forward to their continued work, because it really makes a difference to those young men and young women who are coming back home. And Dennis has shown by his work that he really understands and he gets it. So we just really appreciate him and CSI for all that they're doing.
So over that period of time, we were able to get some traction at the legislature and got some legislation done that removed some of the issues that people deal with coming out of prison and jail. And we even established our Second Chance Lobby Days that we instituted in 2011 to bring men and women, mainly formerly incarcerated men and women, and organizations that work with men and women formerly incarcerated, to Jones Street in Raleigh, North Carolina, to the legislature to address our legislatures about these issues that people were facing. So over that period of time, across the country, as well in North Carolina, this issue of reentry had similar kind of traction across the country, because it's an issue in every state. So we've seen it come a long way, and we've been glad to be a part of it.
So if you got to apply a truth to saying, I want to fix cars for a living. What is that truth you got to apply? That you got to use the knowledge, and you got to look at it. The first thing you got to do, you got to go to school for 2 years. You've got to plan with truth.
anytime when a person gets out of jail or when a person gets down on his luck and can't find work, he's going to find a way, whether it's stealing or something, to make a dollar, to get a dollar to make sure he can live and his family. And this program puts that person out there and tells him the value of making the dollar himself and getting that job and feeling secure, feeling that afternoon when he gets that paycheck, how good it feels to, hey, I've earned an honest dollar. And that stays with him. Sure, you're going to have some fall off the wagon, but let me tell you something. If we can reach 1, 2, 5 in a month or 2 months or a year, 6 months, we've done our job, because that's 5 people, 10 people that we don't see back at the Wake County Jail, or the prison system don't see them, because they now have earned their living and they know what it feels like and they're happy about it.
It really is about giving others the opportunity to redeem themselves and giving a second chance. I mean, and I think that the second chance goal is pretty overarching and consistent across the board. But again, depending on the organizations that we're applying to, there may be more of a focus on retraining, if you will, in helping folks attain short-term skills training to help them become more employable. Or it could be reuniting them with a family, giving them the opportunity to, now that they are re-entering, really becoming both an active member of the community, but also strengthening the family bonds, returning to family.
I go every month now to the South Women's Street, second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday, and speak to the guys and encourage them to come to CSI, resources that, that help me. It's a big difference in my life now. I never thought out of 14 kids that I'd be the only one in the family to go to college. And here I am, getting ready to start Monday, going to college, and I'll tell you, I'm still pinching my arm. It's a reality. But like I say, Mr. Gaddy, he calls me. If he don't do it every day, he'll do it at least twice a week. See where I'm at. He's my son's godparents, him and his wife, my son's godparents. My daughter just born. She's 6 months and about 4 more days. So it's just a whole 360 in my life.
All these guys and ladies coming out of prison, it seemed like they had a rebirth because they were able to have somewhere to go, to talk to somebody, to try and get an understanding of what could be done for them other than just putting them back out on the street. And I felt like it was a good thing, and I'm so glad.
The classes are self-development classes, and I think they're critical because I think we have to understand that not just getting a job, but keeping a job and being productive on that job. And not only that, is understanding purpose for your own life. And one of the things that I teach for my students is that purpose. You're created for something, and whatever that something is, you need to do it to the best of your ability.
Our community colleges actually come and offer up workshops and trainings on entrepreneurship and soft skills, success journey workshops that they do as part of our curriculum. We couldn't make it without them. PNC Bank particularly comes and does financial literacy workshops.
Well, we come here to help the individuals who are looking and working with CSI to help succeed, either in a professional environment, personal, and we get to come here to help them with any questions that they have about the banking world, and really help them learn how to budget, look at their financing, and make sure that they're in a good place once they do open an account.
People don't realize how important that is. Just like you get a physical every year for your health, you need also to keep up with your financial well-being so that you'll be financially stable as you grow and learn and make more money.
PNC Community Development Banking is devoted to improving the quality of life and providing a hand up for people, neighborhoods, and communities in which we serve.
When you have been stigmatized so long, or you've worn the scarlet letter so long, after you've completed your sentence, then it can put people in a situation where they feel that's who they are. And we want to make sure that that is not the case, because statistics say that if a person if there has been a 7-year period or longer between the time that a person has completed their last criminal activity, that they're no more likely to commit a crime than a person who's never committed a crime.
The challenge of my work is getting the community to understand that there's a tsunami of 650,000 people per year coming out of prison. And if we exclude those people from the marketplace, then we are creating a crime going somewhere to happen. And every crime that's going somewhere to happen has a victim that goes along with it. And the taxpayers end up supporting the bill.
Over the past 10 years, CSI has made a tremendous difference in the reentry arena, and not just in the reentry arena, in broader criminal justice reform.
We've been able to expand expunction laws in the state, have taken care of, have certificates of relief that can help people. Occupational licensing now has to be done in a more individualized way. And we've gotten the state started on at least pilot projects around reentry councils, and hopefully providing the services and what we'd like to see sometime is a seamless delivery system. And Dennis and CSI have been involved in that.
The one good thing is he has organized what we call the statewide reentry network. So he has brought individuals and organizations that do reentry work periodically to Raleigh to discuss best practices that organizations across the state does to help people transitioning.
So many people, once they come out of prison, they have to have a job, but they're not prepared mentally. So the things that CSI was able to help us to do with their 15 principles, guiding principles, were right on target with what we were thinking about doing, but didn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Dennis Gaddy himself has been an inspiration to me with the work of CSI, especially in the prisons, and we've done several workshops together on various issues pertaining to reentry. His work inside the prison has certainly impacted many of the inmates that I currently serve now.
And there really is a change underfoot, and this is just the beginning of it, and that is due to us being able to put a face on this issue. And so when legislators are thinking, or legislators or other decision makers are thinking, hey, if I change this or provide this new opportunity, this is going to benefit a thug, that's what they've thought in the past. We're changing that so that they understand exactly who's facing these barriers. Mothers and fathers trying to support families, trying to come back and contribute to communities. That's who this relief reaches. And so by giving them that sense, they've been much more willing to provide significant levels of opportunities to individuals with criminal convictions.
Our prisons are filled with people that don't know how to get up. That every time they did, somebody smacked them back down, and they think that's just where they belong. And over 60-70% of them don't belong in there. Some of them do. Some of them do. Most of them don't. Most of them got children. Most of them got family members that love them and care for them. And most of them could really contribute to our society in a meaningful way, and we need them. And so I think it's my responsibility and a lot of our responsibilities that have been in trouble to reach their hand back and pull them up and to show them the way out.
Well, you know, it's amazing how Dennis Gaddy have taken his own personal story, his own personal failing, if you will, and as a launching pad to help others come out of the same situation. We all know Dennis' testimony, but his organization has worked closely with us because a lot of our guys they have felons and they have problems finding jobs, and we can refer them to Dennis and his program, and Dennis helped them find jobs, which is very needed in the community.
I met him through a woman named Regina Crooms, who was the workforce board director at Capital Area. She told me about a program and a guy named Dennis Gaddy. And so she set up a meeting between Dennis and I. And the incredible thing about that was this meeting was set up as Regina lay dying. I have never seen anything like what goes on there. I believe in CSI. I believe in Dennis Gaddy and the things that the individuals who work there do.
I'm very proud of the team that we have at CSI. We have some people who really roll up their sleeves every day. You don't see them, but they're in the trenches every day getting the work done. Our team at the office, our staff, our partners.
We're delighted to partner with Dennis Gaddy and Community Success Initiative, because one particular area of our ministry is called FREE, Females Reaching for Excellence and Empowerment. And we direct that toward ladies who are coming out of incarceration, women who are coming out of homelessness, women who are coming out of situations. And we fold them into the things that we do.
So CSI has accomplished more than any reentry program in the state as far as I've seen. And I've been around quite a few places about reentry, because I go into prisons also and teach reentry before they get out of prison and then take their steps as become productive citizens. So CSI is always a recommendation to them for more resources in whatever county they're going to.
We're a small organization with limited funding and can only do so much, but it's amazing what Dennis has accomplished, what CSI has accomplished. We turn nobody away. Anybody that comes to us is welcome. We'll help them in every way we can. CSI is connected with a lot of service organizations in the community, and if we can't help somebody, we know someone else that will help them.
When I got out of prison in 2004, I had two things against me. One was I was 59 years old, so I had ageism. Also, I had a criminal background. I went through a period of homelessness, I went through a period of despair, and I ran into Dennis Gaddy a little over 8 years ago. We started working together. What I do like so much about CSI is that the people who work here or volunteer here, just about everybody has a criminal background. So we do understand. We've knocked our heads against the same walls as our clients are doing. We need to help them as somebody helped us along the way, to get back on your feet, to gain confidence in yourself, and to know how to readjust to society in general.
Dennis Gaddy is a modern day Joseph. This morning I want you to hear one of the most inspiring men in my life, a Joseph of this generation. And every time I think about quitting, I got a little thing in my notepad that says, remember Dennis Gaddy. And it makes me want to get up and fight on a little harder. Would you welcome to this pulpit none other than Brother Dennis Gaddy, who will introduce himself to you today.
So today we've helped about 1,200 people over the last 10 years. We see about 300 people a year. And I said, one of the things that came to me when I was incarcerated was, after about 6 months of being incarcerated, was, you know, I had to be in prison. My prison didn't have to be in me. Right. And it was from that revelation that kind of gave me my kind of little start to think about maybe what I wanted to do when I got out, and helping maybe create some partnerships with people who wanted to help people coming out of incarceration. What would make our issues go away is the way I kind of ask that question. First of all, we need more mentors. You know, we need more people to say, I'll come along and help you create a wrap-around team around this person who's coming out. Obviously, we need money. Obviously, we need people to step up and help finance our efforts. You know, it takes dollars to make our organization go. And I'm very, very impressed with what our organization takes with little money and does the great work that they do. Very proud of that. I see it day in and day out. With limited resources, we're able to do some pretty good things. We need people who can offer up jobs or help direct us to people who can offer up jobs. Statistics say that people with a job are 50% less likely to go back to prison. So employment is very important, and we can vet and we can help vet the process and become actually partners with the employer, so that any kind of anxiety they would have about who they're hiring, we can help it. Alleviate that anxiety by having people come through our program and then refer them over to the employer. So it's not just we're just sending people to work. So those are some of the things collectively, you know, that if put together would ease our burden a bit. And but we're thankful to have been where we are at this point and to have been around this long.